All right, Ryan Tedder, welcome.
Hey.
It's been a minute.
It has been a minute.
Thanks for coming by.
Technically, May 17th, 2016.
Yeah. Good memory.
I had the photo proof.
Yeah.
Wow. Why have you waited so long to come see us?
Honestly, we've just taken off. I think we started really going January as a band in terms of tour promotion, all that stuff.
Uh-huh.
We started January of 2007. Of 2007 is when we started the whole thing that is now OneRepublic. So I got to the end of 2016 and I was like, I haven't stopped in 10 years. I have not stopped. Tour album was Never Home, as my wife so frequently reminded me. And got to the end of 16 and just honestly hit. So funny, that photo that you just showed me.
Yeah.
That was the beginning of our promo. That was the first day, May 17th.
Wow.
We just shot the video for Wherever I Go. We started promoting it May 17th. I left the week I saw you, I left LA and I did not get home until December 18th.
Oh my God.
So I just was like,
yeah.
I'm done.
Well,
And
look, it opened up the doors to Songland.
Yeah, it opened the doors to doing TV.
Yeah.
I have a couple TV shows going now. I have a scripted show on Nickelodeon. I'm executive producing a movie with Margot Robbie that's a musical set in Mexico that we actually just got the script on. We start shooting.
Wait, stop everything.
Yeah.
You and Margot Robbie, how did that hookup come about?
So a guy that I have known that moved to LA the same year that I did, named Brian Uncless, he went to high school with my wife, which is just it's just a small world.
Uh-huh.
We both moved here at the same time. I started pursuing music. He got an internship at DreamWorks as a script reader and then worked his way up the ladder. He ended up doing Diary of a Wimpy Kid was his first films that he helped produce. Then he was in an airport one day and picked up a book and read it on a flight and thought, well, this might make a good movie. And he came back to his boss and pitched her on what became the Hunger Games.
Oh my God.
So after those,
That's crazy.
after those movies, he went on to do I, Tonya, Bright. He's doing Suicide Squad, the spinoff with Margot's character. And so then I met Margot through him, probably about a little less than a year ago, and the idea for this film came up that they had optioned from an old Latin American folklore, almost like the Latin American Romeo and Juliet type story. So then we ended up, it just kind of worked its way out. They, wanted me to do the music, oversee the music portion of it, and thought, well, it's a musical, so it's going to go a little deeper than that. And I got very fortunate, and then it ended up landing me an EP role on the film itself.
That's great. Congrats.
Never expected to do that, so I've been doing that and another TV show, and have a beverage thing that I'm doing now. So it's the last 2 years I took off. Yeah, I brought you guys some.
Oh, great. Oh, what is
Mad
that?
Tasty. So it's
Mad Tasty.
Mad Tasty.
It's on
It's
your hat.
it's all over LA now. It's CBD, 20 milligrams CBD. You do not get high. It does not have THC in it.
But it's all good things.
It's phenomenal for you. Anti-anxiety, anti-inflammatory, and it tastes a billion times better than LaCroix.
Oh, I love that. Thanks for
no
bringing
sugar.
that.
So I brought you some.
Wow.
But yeah, so the last 2 years, needless to say, I was still doing music and writing for other artists now, but I did take a big chunk of time, probably 6 to 9 months, where all I did were things that were not songwriting and OneRepublic.
So you really did have some
I
writing
did.
time.
I had some.
That's
I had
good.
a break to if all you ever do is one thing. I'm lucky enough that the one thing that I got good at pays the bills. But after 15 years or longer, probably 18 years of only writing songs and singing them, I kind of was like, am I even capable of doing anything else?
Was it hard to stop the songs from popping into your head?
Believe it or not, it wasn't, because it was like its time had come.
Okay, right. You were ready.
I was ready.
Yeah.
I knew the point had come when I'm a big jogger and exerciser, and when on my jogs and driving, I was listening more to podcasts and books on tape than I was songs. Because used to, I was just constant music inundation, and then I started listening to books on tape, educating myself on different things, podcasts that I found fascinating. And now when I write songs, I think I might even be a better writer now than I was 3 years ago, because I'm not at burnout.
Yeah,
so now
mind
it's ironic.
expansion.
I walked away from songwriting I mean, honestly, for the better part of a year, and the moment I walked away and started doing other things is when everything ramped back up again. The Jonas Brother things happened, and then 5 Seconds of Summer, and now Diplo, and just Pink, and on and on and on. And so it's kind of funny. It's like sometimes you have to let something go for it to come back, and that's kind of what it feels like happened in the last year.
That's great timing. Like everything coming together.
Everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
Everything
No,
happens
it's
for a
so
reason.
true.
You can't control it, and as long as you understand you can't control it, there's freedom. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just
We
realize you're
always
not in
say,
control.
The universe gives you what you need exactly when you need it.
Exactly when and which is sometimes a kick in the ass.
Yes, right.
Yeah.
Well, now I feel bad. I was going to accuse you of house planting us. Do you know all these new dating terms? Like there's cookie jarring and paper clipping and dog fishing. There's all these new, I know you're married. I'm married too,
I
but
know catfishing, but I don't. Like, I know
Catfishing,
that term really well. I've seen the show, but like I don't know any of these.
Dog
What is
fishing
this?
is where you pose with a dog that's not yours to lure the member of the.
That's amazing.
Isn't
Yeah.
that
I
amazing?
mean-
People
Like
are
borrow a
doing
dog,
that.
Yeah, I mean, I know thirst trap. Like
Yeah.
I know that.
Right,
right?
And house planting is like you do just enough, you water it just enough to keep it alive.
Okay.
And you go away, and then you come back when it needs water again.
That's
but you're
funny.
really not present.
That's
Are you glad
interesting.
you're not dating right now?
God. Well, I also don't feel like I feel like where I'm from, you date to get married. I'm from the buckle of the Bible Belt. It's like so traditional, like Southern, like Oklahoma, and that vibe is how I was raised. And now, if I was 22, like I feel like the next generation, not even millennials, Gen Z, like the younger, like I think you technically have to be, I want to say like 23 or younger, and you're Gen Z. You're not a millennial. And that generation, I feel like, is kind of like why would you get married? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
right.
why are we trying to
Yeah.
legally bind ourselves for eternity if we don't have to? Like, that's the impression I get from all the young writers I work with. Yesterday, like it was me, and then like there was like a 19-year-old, like a 23-year-old, a 27-year-old, and it rare is the person that I work with where they're just like, yeah, I'm just dying to get married. You know what I mean? I can't wait. Too soon is not soon enough. You know, it's just a different approach. It's a different time. So I feel like dating now is kind of everything. I also feel like things like Bumble and
All the apps.
has equalized it a little bit. I'm a big fan of, I'm not on any of the apps, but like when I heard about Bumble, I was like, I totally am down with that. Like it puts the power back in girls' hands
Right,
to
yeah.
be the one that like taps or swipes or whatever the hell you do.
So Bumble is only one-sided.
Bumble, the girl has to approach
Okay, right.
you, whether you're
Whether
a
whatever.
dude or I don't know how it works though if you're lesbian. How does that work?
I don't know.
How does that work? Wait, I'm
Maybe
just trying
you
to
can choose a
I'm just
side.
I'm just trying to think like if you are lesbian and like you're on Bumble, but you wait a minute. Does
we
it,
had a call today about
it's just
someone
like
who
the
says,
app just shorts out. I don't know.
yeah. Do you believe in polyamory?
That's
loving
what is
more
that?
than
That's
one at
the
one
living
time?
more than one at one time.
Yeah.
I for me, I feel no, that's interesting. It's like you could definitely, if you opened that door to allow you to be enamored by more than one person at the same time, you could. But point to me the polyamorous couple that has not ended in disaster.
Right.
Yeah.
And I'm sure
what?
now your phone at some point your
point.
phone line, someone's going to call in. I've been polyamorous for 17 years. But really, like at some point somebody gets jealous. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Oh, right.
Somebody gets
Yes.
jealous. It's just the way it works.
Possessive and jealous.
It's the way it works.
Yeah.
I mean, you may like Pepsi and Coke for a minute, but eventually you're just drinking Coke.
right. Let's talk about Songland. You're like ridiculous on that show, and I mean it in the best way possible because
Thank
I've
you.
never seen anyone do something like you can do in such a way that's just so effortless and natural. Like you said, I mean, you were born to do it,
Yeah.
and so how do you see it in other people, and have you yet like truly seen? Oh my God, this person reminds me so much of me.
I've seen
It's a gift.
Yeah, I've seen it's interesting. I try to sign people who are good at things that I'm not good at.
Oh, okay.
Or that are I've prided myself from day one since I was, let's say 20, when I really started writing full time and producing. I prided myself. My goal was to be a Swiss Army knife. I was signed to Timbaland at a young age, and Tim, #1 producer in the world, at the time, he shifted the sound of global radio 2 or 3 times and had more hits. He was the hottest. There hasn't been a producer as hot as he was in his peak since him.
Oh, wow.
That said, what he did was a very specific thing. It was one sound. It was not one sound, but it was a specific sound. And I knew I would never be as good at Tim at doing that thing. And in the early 2000s, there were a lot of producers in LA when I first moved here that were good at one thing. They had their sound, and they were big about producers back in that time. Beginning of songs, music was really urban in the early 2000s. And producers, a lot of them would shout out their name at the top of a track. It's like DJ Bubba on the track, like, JR, this is a JR Rodham exclusive, right? All those. And then I thought that's dope while that works.
Yeah.
But you've now branded your sound as that sound. The moment that sound is not in vogue, you're out. And I saw it with enough writers in LA in early 2000s they'd have a string of hits, but then it's like all good things must come to an end. And it's like, think about how big LMFAO was when they were doing Party Rock Nation, And then you think about, then 2 years later, I always say, nothing is less cool than last summer's dance hit.
That is such a great saying. It's
right?
so true.
Like Call Me Maybe, the summer that smashed, biggest coolest thing in the world. The following summer, not as cool, the irony is not happening, it's just not happening. And so for me, I thought, okay, I actually want to do this for decades.
Right.
So the only way that's going to happen is if I can kind of touch on every genre and I can morph into whatever the genre, whatever is fashionable. Because songwriting, the craft of songwriting doesn't change. A great song is a great song. Learning how to map that to the culture that you're in and pop culture, that's the key. And so I look for people who can do things that maybe I don't want to do anymore, or who are better at me than certain styles of writing. But the main thing I care about, or that I look for in other songwriters, the biggest thing for me is work ethic.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's the one thing I can't teach you that. And I can spot that in somebody in 5 seconds.
Oh, yeah. Good.
Like, I'm way older than the people I sign, and I still show up hours before they do the studio, and very often I'm there after they leave. And I'm not saying that as a knock. I'm just saying that I've always been that way.
Yeah.
And you have to be.
You can spot it.
You have to be insatiable. You have to be.
Right. Let's talk about Rescue Me. Would you rescue me? Would you get my back? Would you take my call when I start to crack? Where'd those words come from?
This song was written very quickly. I wish I had a longer story for it, but some songs happen very, very fast. I decided back, let's say around February, that I was mentally in the space where I wanted to do OneRepublic again and focus on it and start culling. We had already been writing off and on for 18 months. So we already had 2 or 3 songs we thought were amazing. But I wanted to start intentionally culling songs for a new OneRepublic album and tour and all that. And I write the best OneRepublic songs when I'm not writing for OneRepublic. Like I write the best stuff for us when I'm constantly working on other people's stuff, because it keeps me fresh. If I'm in the room writing, for the next 5 seconds, a summer single or Sam Smith or Jonas Brothers or whoever, that makes you like sharper. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because the stakes are high. Anytime you're writing a song for an artist, every song that they put out, like that eats up 3 to 6 months of their life, their promotion, their career. And every time you come and swing at bat with a song, you want to connect, you want to earn the most amount of fans. You want to connect with people. It's all about connecting. And so you're trying to do that every single time. And I find that when I focus solely on OneRepublic, I psych myself out. It's like it's the only time I can get myself writer's block is if I'm trying to write a OneRepublic song. So Rescue Me was written in less than 10 minutes, and it was off the back of another session. I was in my studio. I just finished a full day of writing and finished the song.
Was it a session with Sam? He's a good friend of ours.
Sam,
I can see a Rescue Me coming out of after a session with Sam.
It was around the same time. I don't think it was the same day because that was a different studio, but it was within the same week or so. the last time I wrote with him, and I just walked in the room with Brent, he was working on something else, and I walked in the room, and I said, "Hey, I have this idea of a song I want to do for OneRepublic. I this kind of really simple, basic idea." I said, "Here's what it is." I said, "I hear the guitar sounding like this," and I just kind of explained it. This is the tempo,
Yeah.
And then Brent picks up the guitar and starts playing a few chords. And I was like, "Yeah, like that, like that, like that." And I literally took out my phone like this, and I hit record, and I was like, the first thing out of my mouth: "Would you rescue me? Would you get my back? Would you take my call when it start to crack? Would you rescue me?" And then it kind of wrote itself.
I love watching you on Songland doing what you just did.
Just that.
It's just such a great process. You don't understand, like, just as a viewer and someone who loves music, to watch you craft off the top of your head like that. It's so magical. It's such a blessing to be able to watch you do it.
It's a weird, to be honest, I've been doing it so long, but even to this day, when we had moments the whole season on Songland where it literally is like the clouds part and an idea just falls from the sky. And when it happens, we're still aware, like as it's happening, we're going like, how did I just come up with this? It's never not shocking to us.
Yeah.
And the next single we have is called Wanted. We just shot the video. The video's insane. I'm dancing my ass off in the video, which I've never done.
Oh, it's great.
And
good for you. Was it freeing?
It was freeing.
Yeah.
I wrote the treatment, so I was like, if this sucks, it's my fault. But I've been writing all of our videos. The Rescue Me video was my treatment. I've been writing all the treatments for the stuff that we do. And the next song also was like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It was one, the chorus is, "I just want to be wanted. Like to know, I'm crossing someone's mind. I just need to be needed." And it's this very, human, a lot of our songs are just about human condition. And so
Connecting.
Exactly. So it's another one like that. And it was like 10, 20 minutes. It was kind of, what do you call it? Free associative thinking. You just kind of unlock your brain and let ideas kind of come.
You're mad tasty.
Mad tasty. Mad tasty.
Thank you so much.
What do you
Ryan.
like? You like watermelon or grapefruit?